breaking news, the GOP remains deadlocked over who will be the next House Speaker.
Hey, stop.
MPD releases body camera video of a deadly officer-involved shooting.
We just spent all day putting sandbags in front of the garage at every entry point.
We've got your first alert to some major winter storm action that is dumping on California and a stretch of the upper Midwest. All these stories plus what's putting the brakes on Hawaii's iconic rainbow license plates. That's coming up on This Is Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday. Let's get started with some breaking news. University of Hawaii Athletics Director David Matlin plans to retire come June 2nd. Now, Matlin took the AD position in 2015. During his tenure, he's hired 16 head coaches, which is the most by any AD in school history. The university made this announcement earlier this morning and praised him, saying he led with integrity and responsibility and helped grow programs in amazing ways. Prior to UH, Matlin was a local business leader, including time as the executive director of the Hawaii Bowl and the Diamond Head Classic. Now, when he retires in June, Matlin will be the 5th longest serving athletics director in school history. We have more on this breaking story posted now on our website.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. Even more breaking news coming into the H&N Digital Center. Want to take you live to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. A lot of new developments to get to from Capitol Hill. House Republicans going through a second day of multiple balloting and are still unable to elect Representative Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker.
Yeah, and they're also unable to form a new strategy to move forward and end the political chaos that has tarnished the start of their new majority. With more on that, we check in now with our White House correspondent, John Decker. John, you've been in the House chamber for the Speaker vote over the last 2 days. Can you tell us why Kevin McCarthy has struggled to secure enough votes?
Well, that's what we've seen. 6 times he has had votes to be the next speaker. 6 times he has failed to get 218 necessary votes to be the next speaker, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. The problem that 20 Republicans have with Kevin McCarthy essentially is they do not trust him, nor do they like him. And likability is a factor when you're choosing the leader for your party and the leader for the House of Representatives. I don't know how he gets past that. It's going to be very difficult for Kevin McCarthy to twist the arms of 20 House Republicans and make them change their minds. They seem to have dug in their heels. They seem to be in a position where they're not going to budge. They're not going to support Kevin McCarthy, even if there's a 7th, an 8th, or a 9th ballot.
Got that. Florida Rep. Byron Donald was nominated for Speaker today. Can you tell us, does he even want the job? Or at this point, is there any other candidate that Republicans can seemingly rally behind at this point?
Well, he's a protest vote. He's been put forward the last few ballots to be the protest vote that these 20 House Republicans can vote for. He has voted for himself as well. And he is someone who is not comfortable at this point with Kevin McCarthy being the next Speaker of the House. He's voted against him, and he's made it clear that he doesn't believe Kevin McCarthy can get to that 218 vote threshold. As to other Republicans, they have not yet emerged. Someone who can get 218 votes from the entire Republican conference. We'll have to wait and see if the Republicans coalesce around one particular member before the week is done. So far, it hasn't happened.
This holdup on this vote is definitely delaying matters of business here. And specifically, the last 2 days, America has sat, watched, and waited with little to no results. What do the past 2 days say about House Republicans' ability to govern for the next 2 years?
Well, it's not a good start. It's not showing that they can govern. It's not showing that they can do the people's business when they can't even elect or coalesce around one individual to be the next Speaker of the House. And indeed, Republicans for the next 2 years will control the House of Representatives. Hopefully the Speaker vote will be done sometime within the next 24 hours. I think what we are likely to see, however, is that over the next 2 years, on issue after issue, there will be difficulty in terms of coming to a common ground, certainly a bipartisan ground, on any particular issue that comes before the House of Representatives.
We will definitely be staying on top of this over the coming days. John Decker, Hawaii News Now's White House correspondent, thank you so much for your time.
Now, a warning for this next story, some very graphic video in it. Body camera video released from the Maui Police Department from an officer-involved shooting last week. Our Jolani Martinez brings us this update.
The family of the man shot and killed last week told us that night he did not deserve to die.
You guys called? Yeah, you called. He's right here. Hey. Hey, stop.
The unidentified Maui police officer pulled his gun out within seconds of arriving at this home in Kahului last Thursday. The man heard yelling is 29-year-old Reynaldo Ricarde. His family called police claiming he was suicidal. Ricarde goes back into the house. Then seconds later, he emerges and charges at the officer.
Show me your hands. Stop.
The officer shot Ricarde. MPD did not release that part of the body cam video.
The individual then fell to the ground and then began to say, "Shoot me," and is later seen or heard saying, "Kill me."
MPD did not identify what Ricarde was holding, but his family says it was a knife sharpener.
We understand that we have a grieving family who lost a loved one. There are no winners in most critical incidents, and we all pay a price. It is the suspect's actions that dictate our officers' response.
Retired HPD Deputy Chief John McCarthy says the officer responded accordingly.
The officer is going to have to live with this for the rest of his life, even though he appeared to have done everything proper.
Wailua Brandman, a clinical nurse specialist in adult psychiatric mental health, says this did not have to happen.
Long story short, if the police were trained better to understand that this might be the plan of the man to prod them into killing him, then they may have been able to prevent that.
Brandman and McCarthy agree that mental health experts should partner with officers on suicide calls.
Something we explored when I was the deputy chief. San Diego, we were looking at a project out of San Diego where they had mental health personnel right along with the patrol officers on a daily basis. The problem is in Hawaii, we just don't have enough mental health personnel to go around.
3 governors ago, I think, the funding was cut back, and it's never really been fully restored. Maybe with the current state administration being in the hands of a physician, we might see a return to adequate funding.
Ricarde's mother says he is a father and didn't deserve to die. Jolani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.
Now let's head over to Oahu, where Honolulu's police chief says HPD cannot rein in illegal fireworks without more help. He says police got more than 2,400 fireworks complaints over the new year and ended up making 3 arrests and issuing 17 citations. Officers also confiscated nearly 300 pounds of illegal fireworks. The chief says getting rid of aerials requires a broad approach.
There was some enforcement action going on, not because of what was going on the freeway. We still had the regular patrol officers doing what they do, but just an amazing job, I think, for HPD and what they had to do. Can we get rid of fireworks? I think that's going to take federal, state, and local entities working together strategically to look at, 1, how are they getting here, and number 2, how can we as an organization amongst our federal and state partners help to, curb or eradicate what's coming in.
I guess it would be a lot to put it all on HPD.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's not fair with 2,000 officers out there trying to do what they do every day, and then to add fireworks into that would not be fair to us. But it's a group effort. It's a joint effort with our federal and state partners.
And Emergency Medical Services tells us at least 8 people were seriously injured from fireworks over the weekend.
Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin remains in the ICU after suffering from cardiac arrest while on the field. His family says his recovery is heading in a positive direction. Isabel Rosales has more from Cincinnati.
Doctors noted signs of improvement in Damar Hamlin yesterday and overnight. Clearly welcome news to the NFL community, to so many players that have been anxiously awaiting for this moment. All of that according to the Buffalo Bills, his team. The next step for doctors here is to wean him off the ventilator. Outside the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, support is growing for Damar Hamlin.
This is not about football. This is about Damar.
Signs reading "Hope for Hamlin" and prayers for Hamlin, encompassing the feelings of people around the world pulling for the well-being of the Buffalo Bills' safety. Inside the hospital, the NFL star is fighting for his life.
This is a surprise to everybody. I mean, we all seen the hit. It wasn't that big of a hit. So, you know, for it to end up in this manner, it's just shocking. We were all in the room crying. Man, we were all in tears, man. And I'm not a crier, but like I never cried so hard in my life, man. Just to know like my nephew basically died on the field and they brought him back to life.
Hamlin's uncle giving new details on his injuries.
He's sustained some damage to his lungs, and they're working to try to remedy that, and they got him on a ventilator to help with the breathing too, just to take some of the strain off his lungs.
Meanwhile, Hamlin's teammates say they're trying to cope with the heaviness of the situation.
It's a dramatically unique thing that has happened, and we're all going through it together, and honestly, the entire world is.
And we heard from Troy Vincent, the NFL's executive vice president of football operations, and he got emotional, his voice quivering, saying that his top concern right now are the players, making sure that they can function, they have the resources that they need, that they are okay. Football is secondary. That's what he's saying. In Cincinnati, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Southwest Airlines customers have been impacted by another set of flight delays. The airline said it is back up and running after delays on Tuesday and pointed to issues with a third-party vendor, IBM. Southwest reported that IBM experienced a brief outage to the service that provides weather data before the airline dispatched flights. Southwest has not said how many flights were impacted by the delays, but it said the impact was minor and resolved quickly. Now, you'll recall Southwest already facing so much backlash over those cancellations of more than 15,000 flights during peak holiday travel. Now to some local tourism news. Japanese arrivals are slowly starting to rebound. With more on that, here's our Howard Dykes.
Yeah, Japanese arrivals topped 5,000 most days before COVID and then fell off precipitously when the pandemic hit. In 2022, we started getting 1,000 Japanese arrivals most days. In recent days, for the first time in nearly 3 years, we got over 2,000 arrivals from Japan on 7 consecutive days. And then yesterday, flights from Japan brought us more arrivals than that. This was the number yesterday. 3,233. Now, we don't know how long this will keep up, but the yen is at 132 to the dollar, and that is a little stronger than it's been lately. One of the things that was keeping us from getting the Japanese back was the increased expense as a result of an unfavorable yen exchange rate with the dollar. So we'll see what happens.
A man suspected of murdering 4 University of Idaho students last year waived extradition and was turned over to state police Wednesday. CNN reports Brian Koberger is being flown back to Idaho. His alleged victims were found stabbed to death November 13th in an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho. Authorities have yet to release key details in the case. They have, however, linked him to the crime through DNA evidence and a white Hyundai Elantra believed to have been involved. Now to a first alert for some severe weather on the mainland. A powerful storm is slamming California with additional snow, more rain, and whipping winds. Nichelle Medina has the latest from San Diego.
A traffic camera in the Sacramento area showed the wet roadways as another powerful atmospheric river storm hits the West Coast.
We anticipate that this may be one of the most challenging and impactful series of storms to touch down in California in the last 5 years.
It comes as residents clean up from the storm over the weekend that downed trees.
You don't realize how much you miss when you don't have electricity, and you don't realize how quickly it gets cold.
And left others without power for days. It also washed away levees, dumped huge amounts of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and flooded the streets of San Francisco with more than 5 inches of rain.
These are dehumidifiers.
As they dry out from the first storm, this family in San Francisco is bracing for what Mother Nature sends this time.
We're very worried about it. We just spent all day putting sandbags in front of the garage at every entering point.
In the flood-prone town of Pescadero, residents filled sandbags.
We've seen many floods, and this is going to be one of the biggest ones, I think.
Forecasters say many of the rivers are already too swollen to handle much more rain. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, San Diego.
All right. Official yuck there. It's not looking too beautiful outside compared to what we usually get here in the islands. This is from our tower cam, a live shot right now. Looking sort of gloomy out there on your lunch break.
Last few days, the rain has moved over the islands, I'd say. But again, nothing as severe as California and what we saw the other week here in Hawaii. So not too bad out there.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes I like the gloomy days.
Me
Change
too.
it up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how it's all going to shape up. Here's Billy V.
Let's give you the 7-day forecast. First of all, we've got a weak front that's here around our islands. As a matter of fact, it's kind of passed by Kauai. It's over Oahu and Maui, where it will stall out before it reaches Hawaii Island. So that's today. We'll have some shower activity. Not heavy showers, but it'll be some welcome rainfall. Thursday, it kind of dries out and starts to clear up. By Friday, we should have really nice conditions, stable weather across the islands. And so statewide, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, lots of sunshine. We get the trade winds working in there. Tuesday, the winds go light, but still lots of sunshine.
Man, are you guys on the internet talking about this next story? Yeah. Talking about our license plates, and there's gonna be some changes. Say bye-bye to that iconic rainbow license plate. Yeah, it's been confirmed by city officials that they're gonna retire that plate. There's no timeline on when that will be, and no word on what the new design will be. The rainbow license plate was first issued in 1991. We have a whole story written up about this on our website right now, H&N Digital Platforms. So, Dylan, that got me thinking of license plates.
Yes.
And when you were a kid and you were driving around it, you don't do it so much here on the islands, but you're on the mainland, you got your siblings in the car, you'd play the license plate game, right? Like,
no.
No? No? Well, you do. And what you do is you drive around and you just yell out, oh, I see South Dakota, and you get a point. I see when you're on the interstate car trips. So that's what we're going to play right now. It's a little game of Know Your License Plates. Yes, we love our trivia. Yes, so we're going to show you a license plate where I have blocked out the state, and you have to guess.
He didn't tell me about this, folks.
State it is. We'll start with this one. Any guesses?
The Last Frontier.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
some hints
Vermont?
in here. No. No.
Well, I have no idea. What is the Last Frontier?
It is another late state, or a late territory to become a state.
Virginia.
No, that would be the great state of Alaska. And I have no
Oh.
clue why it doesn't seem like something Alaska would be. So that was a little tricky. So this one's a little easier.
Arizona.
Ding, 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 ding. 1 point for Dylan.
Oh, I'm about to embarrass myself.
Yeah,
with
we're
my
going
lack of
on.
knowledge
Also,
here.
pretty easy one.
Colorado?
Yes, 2 points, Dylan.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Off
Might
to
get a
a
little
rocky start, but let's keep
very
going.
tricky. But there's dates on there. So think of a state that became to play in 1867, maybe?
Yeah, that's not going to help me at all.
I have no clue what that obscured statue is. Sorry.
I'm just going to stick with Vermont.
Midwest.
I I don't know.
Nebraska, my friend.
Nebraska. Garden State. Is that... Oh my God, this picture of the
Oh,
state
there's a picture
is right
of the
there.
state. I didn't even notice that.
What is the Garden State? Isn't that like New Jersey or something?
Yes! Ding, 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 3. And what is that squiggly line that looks sort of like DNA? I don't know.
For artistic effect.
Yes. All right, we got a couple more.
Green Mountain State. This I have never seen nor heard
But
of.
you said it a bunch.
Vermont?
Yes!
Oh,
the
finally
Green Mountain
Vermont
State,
came up.
Of course. Last one. This one, I just thought this was gorgeous.
Wyoming.
Yes! You did very well, my friend.
Thank you.
Gorgeous plates you got there, Wyoming, by the way.
The cowboy was a giveaway.
I
Wyoming.
lost count, but you did better than I thought you would.
I only missed like 3, 2.
You did good.
Let's
You did-
just say it was an A-.
I love our license plates, though.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to come up with something amazing to replace that.
Simple, iconic. I saw some people wanted outline of Diamond Head, possibly.
It's not as good as a rainbow. Sorry. I love Diamond Head, but...
Yeah. I mean,
the volcano, the national parks commemorative plates you can get for national volcanoes, national parks are gorgeous.
And the Hokulea one, those are beautiful as well.
But
cost a little bit more, but it's worth it. The money goes to a great cause.
All right. Enough license plates talk. Very fun. Read more about it, digital platforms. But we're going to talk about something that's airing tonight on KGMB in primetime. It's that series Tough as Nails, and we have some local connections. We'll get to that in just a moment, but here's your preview.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go!
Season 3 set a new standard for what Tough as Nails was all about. Starting off at Camp Pendleton, where the Marines just opened the door for us, and it was great to have Murph back. So I feel like the pressure is really on us to bring it in Season 4.
My wife and I love this show, and I have what it takes to actually win this competition.
I think that this is a great opportunity to prove that I'm the best of the best in my trade.
I've been a fan since season 1, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to prove how tough I am.
Tough as Nails is not about building an obstacle course. It's about getting to real job sites. And this year, we start off with a bang by going off to Catalina. We're going to be heading to a tree nursery. They'll be doing some HVAC work. They're going to be doing some plumbing work. They'll be working in the sewers at some point.
Oh, God.
There's no room for tired.
Tough as Nails is like a small microcosm of what America is. People from all different walks of life.
General contractor. General construction.
Concrete form setter. Diesel technician. A welder.
An owner of a hardscape company.
I believe that your sons have a nickname for you, which is?
It's Highlighter.
Highlighter. I wonder why.
They love what they do, and we're here to celebrate that.
It's good to see the everyday working American get some credit for his or her job that keeps this country running.
So different than everything else that I've watched, and it's something that has truly sucked me in.
The thousands and thousands of hours that go into making a 1-hour show are well worth it when you know that the audience is connecting with the material. Strangers come together, work together, and get the job done, and that's what Tough as Nails is all about.
Tough as Nails, that's airing tonight on CBS and Paramount Plus. And as you saw, there was a local connection, and unfortunately, it's not our Jonathan Soppy. Instead, it is Ilima Shim from Waianae. She was born and raised on Hawaii Island and is a Konawaina grad. She will compete against 11 other contestants for a chance to win Tough as Nails. We are definitely rooting for her. Once again, it premieres tonight, KGMB at 8 o'clock, and as well on Paramount Plus.
That's going to do it for this halfway through the work week edition of This Is Now. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.